Imagine being able to have access to a universe of all the information known to mankind, complete with photographs, sounds, and motion video footage. Imagine being able to click on a name and have a list of sources of information about that name appear before you, and that another click could take you to the reference that interests you. The information there has more references to carry you to more sources, and on and on. An almost infinite trail of information, images, and resources can all be at your fingertips, all right in your own home or classroom. Now envision being able to shop for clothes, computers, cars, or homes right from your computer. Music, software, books, or videos can be previewed before ordering. Newspapers, magazines, and books are everywhere in this online world, customized to the way you like to read and learn. Weather, sports, and news can be accessed 24 hours a day. While not all knowledge, every company, or every person is a part of this online world yet, it's getting close. It's not a dream, it's real and available to you now. This is your personal information universe, the Internet. In this tape, we'll try to answer some of your questions about the different ways to get onto the information superhighway, how the Internet connection works, and what some of the possibilities are once you're online. Before we get started, let's define some terms that we'll be using. There are 3 things you must have to get connected to the Internet: a computer, a modem, and a phone connection to an Internet service provider. The modem is a small external box or an internal computer card that converts the information coming in or out of your computer into a signal that can travel over the phone lines. Modem is short for modulator-demodulator. The familiar sound you hear of a modem or fax signal is just that, a modulated signal. There is a carrier signal that looks like this, and it's modulated or vibrated like this to carry the information. When your modem connects to another modem, they test each other to see how fast they can send and receive data, and the conversation goes something like this.
Hi, I'm Modem A. My top transmission speed is 28,800 bits of data per second. How about you?
I'm Modem B. I can go up to 33.6K per second, but I'll come down to 28.8K. How's that?
Modem A here. That's perfect. I'm also using data compression.
This is Modem B. Okay, we're connected. Start sending.
Here's a packet. Got it?
Got it. Send another one.
Here's another one.
Keep them coming, baby.
Here's another one.
Modems have increased in speed over the years. Not so long ago, a modem that transmitted at a speed of 14,400 bits of data per second was considered fast. Now, twice that speed at 28,800 or 28.8 kbps is considered a minimum. As the Internet becomes more filled with animations, graphics, sounds, and video clips, the amount of information your modem must pump increases too. Many computers now come with fax modems already installed, so new buyers won't need to worry about many of the installation and configuration problems that used to plague modem buyers. There are a number of ways that you can access this incredible universe of information and entertainment. The 2 most common types of connections are either through an online service or directly through an Internet Service Provider, or ISP. The 3 best-known online services are called America Online, CompuServe, and Prodigy. Because the market for online customers is so aggressive, most of these services offer free software and free hours of online time as an incentive to sign up with them. All of these services are available for both Macs and Windows machines, and once you're online, it really doesn't matter what kind of computer you're using. The way they work and the fees they charge after your free startup vary, and they change from time to time, so we won't discuss too many specifics. Let's just say that these three main services are comparable in cost and capabilities. Many people consider America Online to be the easiest to use and to have the best interface or on-screen controls that show you where things are and how to get to them. The areas are clearly organized with special areas such as kids, sports, entertainment, travel, financial, or chat rooms. A newsstand section has the largest selection of online magazines and newspapers of all the services. Another section is devoted to computer resources with free software, reviews, online purchases, technical updates, vendor email, and discussion groups about every area of computer life. If you want to talk to other people, there are hundreds of chat rooms, which are areas where many users can be online at the same time and type back and forth to each other. These are divided up into common interest areas. America Online is designed to be a family service, so no pornography, foul language, or objectionable material is allowed. Access to the internet through AOL is easy. The browser AOL uses is not full-featured in comparison to some of the others, but it does make web access dependable and simple. America Online handles email better than some of the other services and allows full access to news groups, FTP, and Gopher sites. CompuServe is one of the older services and is slightly more technically oriented, with a higher percentage of experienced computer users and professionals than AOL. Many of the same features are offered here with online encyclopedias, libraries, and reference books, as well as sports statistics, stock market reports, and the ability to make flight or hotel reservations. If you need research material for homework or a term paper, any of the three services have many resources that can help you track down all the material, statistics, pictures, and even video clips you could ever need. CompuServe generally costs a little less than AOL and seems to run a little faster, but is not as family-oriented. CompuServe lets you choose your own browser software and has broader internet support. Because CompuServe offers more options, it's not the easiest service to use, but online tech support is readily available and is very helpful. The way email is handled is not as elegant as AOL's, but is adequate. Prodigy is also a family-oriented service, with ease of use being a primary concern. Here too you'll find a slightly different mix of all the sports, news, games, reference sources, magazines, and chat rooms that the others have. Prodigy offers many family-oriented services, including a homework helper. Prodigy redesigned itself so that the whole appearance or interface of the service looks like the World Wide Web. This makes the differences between online content and services and the internet less obvious and makes moving back and forth from the net to Prodigy easy. Prodigy offers good newsgroup access and excellent Gopher and FTP support as well. Remember that these online services are not really on the internet. They are gateways to the net, and they each provide an impressive array of services of their own. In fact, many of the magazines, services, and resources on these online services are not available on the internet because there's no simple way for them to charge for their services on the net. The online services pay for these features through your subscription, through advertisements as you browse, and a portion of your online time charges. If you're just getting started in the online world, these services can make the journey a lot easier, and they add a lot of features and content to the mix. However, if you plan to spend more than an hour or two a day on the net, the cost per hour for connection can add up, and your bill can get out of hand quickly. If you see that you're going to be a heavy net user, it might make more sense for you to look at the other alternative, a direct internet link with an internet service provider. It's important to remember that the features offered and the quality of service can vary. Like the online services, this is a competitive market, so you should shop around, but price is not the only factor to consider.
A big thing, I think, is that the providers that are selling in the $10 and $15 a month range are selling below cost. I have never been able to figure out a way that $15 a month is not below cost. If you're going with an internet provider who's selling below cost, the odds are good that the service isn't going to meet a high level. You know, if you have a high level of expectation there, if they're not profitable enough to pay somebody to be able to answer your questions, if they're not profitable enough to buy a faster internet link when they need one, to add modems when they're running out of modems, then you're going to get busy signals, you're going to get ring no answer, you're going to get calls not returned, and the question is, how much of a problem is that for you? You know, if you're a business and you see your internet presence as important to you, that's going to be a big problem. If it's just something that you do occasionally, then how impatient are you? If it's time for me to do internet and I can't establish my connection, and I'm a busy person and I'm not going to have this time again for another week or 2 weeks, then you know, I might want to spend a little more dough and get a company that where I have a pretty high expectation that the phone is going to answer, I'm going to be able to do what I need to do or want to do, and if I have a problem, I'm going to actually be able to get a person on the phone and talk to them about it.
Most internet providers are reliable, offering enough lines that you can get through even at peak hours, with technical support and fast equipment so that you don't get bogged down. Others may be hard to connect to, crash constantly, and give undependable service and little or no tech support. Doing some research can save you headaches and money. Ask some webheads you know what service they use and how they rate the quality and value of the service.
Another thing is, how much do they charge per month? Do they charge you for so many hours a month, and then any hours over that minimum, or you're then charged another hourly rate? Do they charge you for sending email? Do they charge you for receiving email? Do they allow you to have a web page up on their computer? And how much space are you allotted in that for that web page?
We talked earlier about a modem and phone line connection, but there are several other types of data transmission technologies in use. ISDN stands for Integrated Services Digital Network. This system does the same job as your modem, but works much faster, as it sends digital information over the phone line. Each ISDN connection has two channels. One runs at 64,000 baud, or if you use both channels, the speed is 128K baud. Although still too expensive for most home users, the cost of these units is dropping, and as more local phone companies offer reasonable hookup rates, ISDN will be the next move for more internet access speed. Two other technologies on the way are cable modems that will work through your cable TV hookup. Also, ADSL, or Asymmetric Digital Subscriber Line. What this means to you is easier and better quality connections and faster downloads of those graphic and animation-loaded web pages you're dialing up. T1 or T3 lines are high-capacity digital pipelines, carrying many thousands of voice signals, faxes, and computer signals at higher speeds. The rates vary depending on compression, distance, and other factors, but will be in the 1.54 megabyte rate for T1 and up to 44.7 megabytes for T3. MCI, one of the internet carriers, has newer systems in development that could range as high as 650 megabytes. For most people, using the internet is just something that happens in their computer. But let's pop the hood on the internet and look at some of the incredible things that have to happen to make it all work. We probably need to pause here and spell out some more terms that we'll be throwing at you in this next section. If you've wondered about the HTTP you see on internet addresses, yes, it's another protocol. This stands for Hypertext Transport Protocol. Hypertext or hypermedia means text that has links to other documents, allowing you to follow a trail to similar information. You may also see or hear the term URL. This is a Uniform Resource Locator. Just think of a URL as an address used with the web to identify the type and location of a multimedia resource on the internet. Also, you've probably seen the term HTML everywhere. Yes, more hypertext. This is the hypertext markup language. This is a type of programming code that lets you take a text document and put in special codes to set colors and text sizes, insert graphics, and set up links to other pages and other resources on the net. Virtually everything you see on the World Wide Web is based on an HTML page. Your home computer is connected to a modem, which is connected to your phone line. Whatever service you're using for your internet connection will supply you with a special local number to call and some software that will set your computer up to communicate with their system. This is called your PPP, or point-to-point protocol number. The signal from your computer goes out over the phone line at 14.4K or 28.8K or at whatever speed your modem is configured. The signal comes into your local phone company's switching network just like any other transmission.
This is where the call originally comes in right here. This is the underground cable that comes in from the subscriber's house, and then it hits a main distribution frame, which is all this equipment along here. From there, the signal comes in through the main distribution frame, hits here at an analog signal, and then here it's converted to digital. All right, at this point, the piece of equipment doesn't care if it's a modem call, a data call, voice, whatever. Matter of fact, it doesn't even know. This is strictly a pipe right here. Whatever you put into it is what we're going to pass on.
The switching equipment functions like a computer router in that it reads the number you're dialing and figures out where it has to go to connect.
When a network sends a query to this front end to ask where it needs to route a call, this thing looks at the information that was sent with it, looks at the end destination, and tells the networks exactly how to get that call to another network that will pass it on to the far end.
When the call rings through, you'll hear the modems conversing and setting up the connection. This works the same whether your ISP is next door or across the country with a 1-800 number. Your signal comes into the ISP's modem, through their computer and back out, either through another modem, an ISDN connection, or a high-speed digital line such as T1 or T3, depending on the size and capabilities of your ISP. As your signal begins to flow into the internet, the routers or gateways we talked about earlier start to pass the packets of your signal from one to another, all heading in the direction of the network service provider. These are the large phone companies and other carriers of long-distance and communication signals, such as AT&T, MCI, or Sprint. The signals now travel at high speeds over copper wires, fiber optic lines, or satellite networks to the destination area. Your signal flows from router to router until it reaches the modem of the host computer that holds the information or web page you were dialing up. This whole process takes just a few seconds. As the server you connected with responds to your call and sends a web page, the whole process is reversed as the page, text, and graphics appear on your screen. Every time you click on a hypertext word or button and the server sends you a new graphic or sends you off to another page that resides on another server on another host computer at some other location, the same process is repeated. That's why sometimes it seems to take so long for something to appear on your screen, but it's truly miraculous that it all works as fast and as well as it does. The service provider you selected will supply you with the software that your particular computer needs to connect with their system. They may send you several different programs for the different functions: the PPP connection, an email program, the browser, and some other plug-ins or utilities you'll need. The software today makes the process of starting up your account easy, almost painless. As you set up your PPP and your email account, you'll be prompted to set up some passwords so that only you or those you designate will be able to read email or perform other tasks involved in running and maintaining your internet site. If you're a casual home user or a one-man or a woman shop, just avoid obvious passwords such as your middle name or birthday or your girlfriend's name. But don't choose something so strange that you won't be able to remember it. Your provider should also help you get a basic web page set up and on the net immediately at little or no cost. You should do some research and strategy planning before you create your permanent site design. All web browsers are going to do most of the same tasks in slightly different ways. All will let you mark your place so that you can return. These are called bookmarks, place marks, or favorites. Let's look at the browser that the majority of web clients use, Netscape. The box at the very top of the browser window displays the title chosen by the creator of the page. When you create a bookmark, This title is what will be displayed, not the actual URL address. Under this is the toolbar with buttons for these functions: back one page, forward one page, and the service home page. The next cluster are reload the page, reload the images on a page, open a new page, print the current page, find a word on the page, and stop loading. The Netscape logo plays an animation when pages are loading, or you can click on the logo to go to the Netscape home page. Beneath this is the URL bar. The URL address of the page you're viewing appears in the location box at the center, or you can type an address here and you'll be taken to that page. The little box at the left is the URL link button. Click on it, and the current URL is copied to the clipboard for pasting elsewhere. Next is a row of buttons that offers you some choices that the Netscape people think you might like. Useful new pages, cool things on the net, interesting places, a choice of search engines to find what you're looking for. People takes you to a White Pages directory search form, and Software takes you to a site to download the newest version of Netscape. The big window is, of course, the active window where the actual web pages are displayed. Netscape uses something called frames that many other browsers can't display. This lets the page creators break the page up into segments so that the whole page doesn't have to redraw to update the information in that frame. Finally, at the bottom of the screen are several more important elements. The key at the left indicates that this site does not have built-in security, so any information that you enter could be hacked by someone else on the net. This is unlikely, but it could happen. You should never give credit card or other sensitive information unless the key is solid. Other browsers have different ways of showing this security status, so be sure you know your browser. Next is the status box. This will tell you how much of a page has loaded, how fast it's coming in, and other info. The small box to the right of this one is a thermometer-style bar that shows how close an operation is to being finished. The last icon launches the Netscape email program. It also will indicate whether Netscape has checked your mail this session and how many email messages you have waiting. Microsoft Explorer has this function on the toolbar at the top. Other browsers may display some of these things differently or offer some other unique features, but in general, most browsers on the market perform the same tasks. The best place to learn about the Internet from here is on the Internet. Because it's changing daily, and because there is so much knowledge and resources on the Internet, you can find literally anything that interests you. Free software, libraries and publishers, schools and universities, businesses and consultants, indexes of the useful and unusual locations on the Internet are all there waiting for you. You've done it. You're online and connected with the universe of information we dreamed about earlier. The Internet lies before you, waiting for you to choose a direction or a topic, your first stepping stone into the awesome possibilities of the Internet. Be sure to watch the other 2 tapes in this series, Cruising the Information Superhighway and Doing Business on the Internet.